Hey there, everyone. Happy to be here. Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to MGTV. I am your host, Michelle G, your dating and relationship guru. And today's episode is all about the 3 must-have secrets to steamy sex this summer. So, sex. Oops. Yeah, there it is. My mind's thinking about sex. Summer is upon us. And, the days are longer, which means the nights are shorter. So I wanted to go ahead and just really talk about this topic because it's something that is buzzing around everywhere. And I thought that it'd be great for me to give you some really core things that you need to have a great sex life this summer. Now, as we talk about, there's several studies that have linked the extent if you receive a lot of sunlight, it increases your serotonin. So despite this, though, there's also the adverse effect, which is you can still get what's called the summer blues, and it's really called the reverse seasonal affective disorder, which means you start feeling like really cooped up, and you end up getting like really irritated, and insomnia. Well, something else too also that I wanted to cover on this subject is that a lot of our viewers are both women who are younger, and some of our viewers are women who unfortunately are going through menopause. And so I wanted to be able to give 3 secrets that would be great for both parties, okay? It wouldn't just be, for one group or for the other, because let's face it, ladies, regardless of our age, we still are sexual human beings. We want to be touched. We want to be groped. We want to feel that, So I wanted to go ahead and talk to you about that. So why is this important? Well, because it affects our sex life. It affects how much goody love we get. It ends up being something that's just really, we crave intimacy. We crave to be touched. So, like I said, some of you, unfortunately, going through menopause, this is just amplified by 10. Like, it's hot. You have hot flashes. You're sweating. You're irritated. Your hormones are all over the place. You're constantly feeling like, and I don't know from personal experience, but my mother I went through this experience with my mom, actually. I was 15, I think I was, when my mom was going through menopause. And I remember that my mom was always hot, she was sweating, and she was just so uncomfortable. And so I wanted to give you these secrets to be able to make sure that regardless, okay, you can have a great sex drive and life this summer. So the secret number 1, very, very not difficult, takes less than 1 minute a day, is Kegel exercises. Now, what are Kegel exercises? Well, it is where you're engaging and you're squeezing your PC muscle. And back in the 1940s, this was prescribed to women who unfortunately suffered from incontinence. So basically, they were told to squeeze their PC muscle so that way they would be able to not urinate on themselves. And so it really, really great about this exercise was that as the women were going through all these different exercises, they started kind of coming back with feedback that said, hey, not only is this helping me with my incontinence, but my orgasms are so much easier to obtain, and they come more frequently. I climax more. They're intense, like they're times 10 intense. So Kegel exercises are really a great way to be able to not only strengthen and tighten things up down there, but also to be able to kind of reinforce sexual pleasure. And that way you can have, who doesn't want great orgasms, right? And there's so many other benefits that come with Kegel exercises, but the best one is, being able to obtain an orgasm faster, more frequently, and intensified. I mean, that's phenomenal. Now, Kegel exercises, believe it or not, are not just for women. They are actually for men as well, because men also have pelvic muscles. And so, with that being said, let me give you just really quickly what it is that you have to do. 10 repetitions daily, holding it for 8 to 10 seconds. Now, if you start feeling like you're holding your stomach in, then it's really not, you're not doing it correctly. So release, and there's also an app that can help you kind of stay in touch with this, and it's actually was created by Dr. Emily Morse, and you can learn more about her at sexwithemily.com. And her app is called Kegel Camp, and it was created by her. So it's a great way to kind of remind you and start building up your Kegel muscles. That way you happy climaxing. All right, secret number 2. Now, aromatherapy. There's different things that you can do with aromatherapy, but there's 2 particular oils that I want to talk to you about today. The first one's going to be ginger oil, and ginger oil really helps heat up your libido, and it just increases your sex drive. Now, whether you put it on, like you actually rub it on your body, or you dilute it, you can still use it in a different number of ways to get you aroused. Now, the good thing about this is that there's also geranium oil. And this not only helps with increasing libido and your sex drive, it also helps if you're experiencing menopausal symptoms. The great thing about this is, and my recommendation is, using a cold water spritzer. Now, what do I mean? Get a little bottle, get ice on it, get a, you know, that has the spray thing, put water in it, dilute a little bit of the oil into it, shake it up. Now, when you're getting all intimate and sexual with your partner, you know, obviously you're sweating, you're having all this heat that's building up. Take a little bit. If you start feeling hot flashes, take a little bit and just spray it on yourself. Sniff it. The senses, I mean, aromatherapy is so phenomenal, because what it does is that it just ends up activating our limbic brain. And so that's where we store all of our memories. And it allows us to be able to kind of put sense and our sex drive together, because you kind of go back to, you start triggering those memories, which triggers all the sensations and emotions in your body. So, you know, spritz a little bit of cold water with some oil, aromatherapy oil, whether it's ginger or geranium, right before foreplay, to make it kind of last a little bit longer and heighten the sensation. You're going to kind of heighten all your different senses. So basically, aromatherapy is another way, and a must-have secret number 2 for this summer for everyone who wants to heighten up their libido and their sex drive. All right? And for secret number 3, last and final one. Now, risky behavior. Engage in thrill-seeking behaviors. Now, this means creative foreplay. What do I mean by creative foreplay? You know, we all have our phones here, or we have email. Get a little creative. Send each other naughty texts. I would say, precaution, disclaimer with email, is it's not as private as you think it is. I mean, you never know. It can get hacked, so don't send any nudie pics or anything like that. But you can text to one of their different little cute cuddle names, or names that are going to kind of get you in the mood and get you going, and kind of build up to that throughout the day. Another really great way is to do something that you guys have never done before. My husband and I, we both experienced ziplining. We love it. It was something that was just really adrenaline. I'm an adrenaline junkie, so I was seeking adrenaline, and you know, we were out in the outdoors, and we were just both kind of like doing the thing, and we were being competitive. Like, all these things that came into play when we both did something new and together, that it was just phenomenal afterwards. We had great sex afterwards, you know. We were all kind of turned on, competitive, and it was just great. And the other thing that I want to say to you is risky behavior number 3, suggestion, or part 3, if you will, of risky behavior, is This is such a great opportunity to connect with your partner, not just sexually, but on a different level, and get to know one another and fall in love again. Because remember, there's only two ways where life becomes exciting. You introduce something, or something is introduced into your life. So it's a really great way to connect with your partner. Now remember, if you're on any type of medication, antidepressant, it's always advised to talk to a professional about what it is that you may be experiencing, maybe some basic side effects. So seek out a professional for help like that before using any remedies. But what I will say is also, you can, if your sex drive is still not functioning or it's just not where it wants to be, don't be afraid to discover what it is that you like and you don't like on yourself. I would also recommend, there are doctors, sexologists, sex therapists that can help you out with this in your local area. So that's all the time that we have for today. You know, I want to remind you, if you want to learn more about these topics and other topics, please visit my website, michelleg.com. And it was such a pleasure to spend this time with you. For more episodes of MGTV, share it with your friends, and always keep the conversation with me. I love to always continue the conversation afterwards. You can connect with me at either support@michelleg.com or more@michelleg.com. Until next week, remember, every day is a new day to reignite your relationships, but every relationship starts with you. Take care.